Bay.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's Good Morning
Bay.
Good morning, Bay! आप सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
नमस्कार.
वनक्कम,
नमस्कारा.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम,
మీకందరికి వందనము.
जय स्वामी नारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण.
जय जनींद्रा,
सत श्री अकाल.
एंड ऑफ कोर्स बंजन आप सभी लोगों को हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा निशांबुला.
एंड ऑफ कोर्स बंजान हम आ गए हैं आपके ही प्यारे महिमा की दुलारे माई सेल्फ फालतू रानी.
You seem distracted, Father. Everything okay?
No.
Okay. No, not okay?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, let's talk, Father. It is the time. Show ko sab chhod de baad mein. Let's talk about how you feeling.
Whatever.
How does this make you feel, Father? I wish I had a couch. I could sit down and I could make you lie down on a couch and we can have a discussion.
I'll go get on with it.
Get on with it. Well, Bajan, this is the 415th day of our sheltering in place, Bajan. And you should remember one thing, Bajan. We actually are. I'm so sorry, Bajan. We actually have something going on our update screens. I see that we actually have still the old yesterday's show going on our thing for some reason, branding wise. There you go. It's fixed right now, Bajan. Let me tell you, Aj, of course, good morning, babe, to everybody out there. Sorry about the first few initial gaffies with the cue cards and everything, but of course, welcome back right now. We are in Good Morning Babe mode right now, and Faltronio should be back in action in just a few minutes, because when she starts sharing the news, she feels very important. That's very interesting.
What?
And of course, Bajan, let me tell you, first of all, on a very
I
somber
always
note,
am important.
on a very somber note, Faltronio, we talked about situation in India getting worse.
Yeah.
It is still not. It's just climbing and climbing, Ranjan. In fact, even the neighboring countries like Nepal also is suffering really big time. Just this morning, I was with one of our bandhus from Nepal, and they were talking about the fact that how it has actually impacted them as well. And given the fact that it's a smaller place, right? Mm-hmm. It's the cases are going to be even more problematic in that region.
Wow.
And of course, now everything's happening over here, but I don't know why the political scene, the media actually is sending us such a bad message about the administration, saying that why would Modi ji go to G7? Excuse me, he went there so he can actually get some help for the nation. Right? There's no shame in asking for help, but let me tell you one thing, there's no shame in asking for help. At the same time, just because you're helping somebody doesn't make you superpowers or whatever it is. But still, it's important to go ask for help when you need it, right?
Right.
And that's why I commend Mr. Modi for actually doing that for our nation. And thank you to all the other nations who are coming together to actually help this particular help our country, India. And let me tell you, Banjan, there's a lot of people over here in the Bay Area, your relatives, your friends and family are actually going through this stuff. It must be really hard, sitting miles away, feeling totally helpless. All I can tell you, Banjan, just hang in there. We hope and pray everybody is able to come out of this, and we really think that eventually we will conquer it. We will, but of course, unfortunately, many people have lost their loved ones and everything. So our heart goes out to everybody out there, and praying for support and strength for you guys, Barajan. But right now, coming back to our news updates and everything, Barajan, let's take a quick look at what's happening on the roads. We have Raste Ka Hal coming right now with you guys, Saste Mein, which is Raste Ka Hal Saste Mein.
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
And of course, Banjan, I don't want to jinx it, but things are seeming to be coming back to the pre-COVID normal over here right now, Banjan, in terms of traffic and everything. And of course, as you guys have already heard in our news we shared with you guys a couple of days ago, next month, California is going to be going into opening up the entire state for business, Banjan. So in other words, economy-wise, it's going to open up right now. There won't be any restrictions and everything, but they do want already, please wear your mask for some more time until they actually tell you it's okay to go around and be working with should I say go around without a mask in the business areas or any crowded places for the matter. Now, quick look at the traffic. There's a traffic hazard on 101 northbound, north of Whipple Avenue, Redwood City. The right lanes are affected over there. Watch out for that. And of course, the high winds on 92 eastbound and westbound between San Mateo Bridge. Toll Plaza, so watch out for that. And otherwise, there's not much of accidents to report in the roads. That's a good thing. But the volume of traffic has not gotten back to the pre-COVID situation, but definitely is slowly creeping up. In other words, it is kind of getting crowded now. If you just choose to just drive on the roads, you actually can sense it also, Balanjan. Now you don't see many more of the open freeways nowadays. Pretty much are crowded. People are trying to get back into work and everything. So that's a good news out there for you. Many companies are actually asking the employees to to come back to work in June, July. So that's what this May khatam hote hi, June May there's going to be a surge of traffic on the roads. Please, I would want everybody to be more cautious about driving in June for sure, and if possible, carpool. No, carpool will not work this time, is it? Because of the COVID situation.
It does work. I think the HOV and what
But
you call
provided you
fast
guys
track-
are all vaccinated, carpool. Otherwise, I would not advise. And right now, Bajan, it's time for us to go take a look at the news updates. Falguni, do you have any headlines for us for what's happening locally or nationwide?
Yes, I do. Actually, should I just go into the direct detailed news, Altavara?
That'll be wonderful. Can you please do that?
Okay. From the Radio Dihadi studios, right here in the Silicon Valley, Bandajan, these are the news from across the United States and also locally here in the San Francisco Bay Area and across California. U.S. job growth unexpectedly slowed in April, likely restrained by shortages of workers and raw materials as an economic recovery bolstered by rapidly improving public health and massive government aid fueled a boom in demand. The Labor Department's closely watched employment report on Friday, which showed a plunge in temporary help jobs, a harbinger for future hiring, as well as decreases in manufacturing, retail, and courier services employment, could heat up the debate on generous unemployment benefits. The enhanced jobless benefits, including a government-funded $300 weekly supplement, pay more than most minimum wage jobs. The unemployment benefits were extended as part of the $1.9 trillion COVID-19 pandemic relief package approved in March. Montana and South Carolina are ending government-funded pandemic unemployment benefits for residents next month. Shut out of power in Washington, Republicans are using their dominance in state houses across the country to oppose Democratic President Joe Biden's agenda and also appease the die-hard supporters of his Republican predecessor, Donald Trump. In Texas, Republican lawmakers are pushing for legislation that would allow citizens to carry a handgun without a permit or any training. In Florida, Oklahoma, and Iowa, Republican legislators passed bills granting immunity to drivers who hit protesters, part of a wave of Republican-led legislation aimed at cracking down on public protests of the kind that followed the police killing of George Floyd. Across the country, a bevy of states have passed bills preventing transgender athletes from playing high school sports. And of course, we've brought you news on all the anti-abortion bills that are being passed in different parts of the state as well. And Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis on Thursday, as we had shared yesterday, signed a sweeping new reform bill that limits mail-in voting and ballot drop boxes, making the state the latest to restrict voting access in the aftermath of Trump's false claims that he lost the November election on widespread fraud. 4 former Minneapolis police officers face federal civil rights charges for their role in the arrest and murder of George Floyd, according to federal court documents unsealed on Friday, demonstrating the U.S. Justice Department's tougher stance in such cases. A grand jury issued a 3-count indictment charging Derek Chauvin, the white former officer convicted of murdering Floyd, and 3 fellow former officers of violating George Floyd's constitutional rights, including his right to not have his medical needs ignored. The defendants saw George Floyd lying on the ground in clear need of medical care, and they willfully failed to aid him. The indictment says also charged were Tu Thao, J. Alexander King, and Thomas Lane. Lawyers for the 4 men did not immediately respond to messages seeking comment on the charges. The charges were the latest sign that the Department of Justice, under new Democratic President Joe Biden, is taking a harder line against police abuse, a role that civil rights advocates say the department neglected during Republican Donald Trump's administration. Nancy Messonnier, a senior health official at the CDC, will resign from her position, she told colleagues in an email on Friday, the Washington Post reported. Her resignation is effective May 14th, the report said. And then Messonnier, who warned the United States about the COVID-19 pandemic last year, has been the director of the CDC's National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases since 2016. Mexican Presidents Andrés Manuel Lopez Obrador pitched a tree planting jobs program in Central America that he said should lead to U.S. work visas in talks with U.S. President Kamala Harris on Friday about the root causes of migration. At the start of the call, Harris said that the United States and Mexico must fight violence and corruption together to help diminish migration from Central America. Most people don't want to leave home, and when they do it, it is because they are fleeing from some harm and that they are forced to leave because there are no opportunities, said Harris. Lopez Obrador, 67, said he had a specific proposal that he wanted to discuss with Harris. He did not give all the details, but he told reporters minutes earlier that the tree planting idea was at the top of his mind. We agree with the migration policies that you're developing, and we are going to help, and you can count on us, is what he said. He also told reporters on Friday morning that legal routes were the best solution for migration. If there was a regular, orderly migratory flow, we can avoid risks that migrants take to cross borders, is what he shared. In some news from the local Bay Area, it's kind of disturbing news, Banajan. Scientists with the Marine Mammal Center have responded to 3 or more dead gray whales reported in San Francisco Bay. Recently, center officials said on Friday the 3 whales washed ashore between April 27th and May 4th in Tiburon, the port of Oakland, and at Angel Island State Park. Since early last month, the Marine Headlands Base Center and partners such as the California Academy of Sciences in San Francisco's Golden Gate Park have investigated the deaths of 4 other gray whales and 1 fin whale, all found in the Bay Area, with 3 of those determined to have died due to a ship strike. Yeah. In the early days of the pandemic, Bandajan, Derek Barnes, a gentleman who is a California resident, had no choice but to live on the street in Bayview. Now, a year later, he proudly claims a new 30-foot-long Coleman lantern trailer equipped with an electric fireplace and other amenities in his home. The executive suite is what he calls it, because that's what it looked like when he first walked in, apparently. Barnes is one of the 120 government-provided vehicles now parked in neat rows on a dusty, windy 3.4-acre patch of San Francisco's Portland at Pier 94. A total of 125 residents are provided meals, clothing, and even twice-weekly laundry service while they shelter in place during the pandemic.
Well, actually, this looks very nice and nifty. Do you know that?
Yeah?
Yeah, the Coleman lantern actually is like a trailer that you can hitch. It's a hitch trailer. It's not like a full, like with a car and everything. It hitches onto your car and all. Wow, it's actually pretty affordable also. Not too bad.
Yeah.
It's like around 10,000, 15,000, that kind of stuff.
Really?
Yeah, but pretty spacious, dude. Yeah.
It says that this this particular service that they have provided to these 125 residents, right? Gwendolyn Westbrook, who's the CEO of the United Council for Human Services, a non-profit agency that operates this program, says that it gives them a fighting chance for a better life.
Yeah.
She said that she's seen a transformation amongst many of the residents there, half of whom have been sleeping in the park early on to escape the pandemic. They've been looking for jobs. They've been doing what they need to do to change their lifestyle around. Without this RV and trailer park, that would have never happened, and people would still be on the street. So this is a pretty clever, nifty initiative, right?
Yeah, and if you've not seen this, Banji, this actually has got a very nice thing. I can actually show it to our bandus. Do you have time to show it?
Go ahead.
I can show it to our bandus right now. Banjan, this is the trailer talking about. Look at the way it's very beautiful. It has the elements of these are the ones. This is a room. It has a bathroom. It has the living room, a bedroom, and actually converts into a kitchen. It's pretty nice. It's not too expensive also. This is the thing they are offering at the place in San Francisco. Very creative idea, Fadori. I should say that.
I think so too. And another thing is, I think other cities ought to be doing this as well. The city of San Jose too. And we're pretty flush with cash, I would say.
Oh, really?
Because we have all the Silicon Valley. I'm really surprised that, all the richest companies are here, and
Yeah.
we're not able to do anything to address the crisis.
Well, I don't understand one thing. Why, when people are so concerned about their property value diminishing because we have homeless encampment and all, right? Why don't they just think the fact that if everybody is doing well, automatically everything aggregated goes up, right?
Right.
I don't understand this. Anyways. What else, Falguni?
And also, at least 3 earthquakes have rattled the Lake Tahoe region late Thursday, with the largest of the tremblers being almost a 4.7 magnitude earthquake near Truckee, according to the USGS. The epicenter for the 4.7 quake was reported 7.8 miles off Truckee and 27.1 miles off of Reno, Nevada, as of 9:35 p.m. So there hasn't been any reports of damage. At least initial reports haven't come in, but many people felt the strong jolt. Those were the headlines from across the United States and right here in in California and the San Francisco Bay Area as well. Banajan, world news will be coming up shortly, but after this, Gaane Ga Keeda.
यहाँ चलती को गाड़ी कहते हैं प्यारे पम 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 बाबू समझो इशारे हॉर्न पुकारे पम 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 यहाँ चलती को गाड़ी कहते हैं प्यारे पम 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 आई
And of course, Bajan, the voice of Kishore Kumar, and you would not have guessed this, Manna Dey for sure. Music by Sachin Dev Burman, R.D. Dev Burman ke baap hai Bajan, S.D. Burman, and lyrics by the wonderful lyricist who we always have loved for all the wonderful meaningful songs given as Majdu Sultanpuri.
यही है क्या भला तो क्या बुरा कामयाबी में जिंदगी है बोलो 100 बातों की एक बात यही है क्या भला तो क्या बुरा कामयाबी में जिंदगी है टूटी फूटी सही चल जाए ठीक है सच्ची झूठी सही चल जाए ठीक है टूटी फूटी सही चल जाए ठीक है सच्ची झूठी सही चल जाए ठीक है आड़ी तिरछी चला चला के झूम
Well, Father, this is like almost 6 or 7 decades old. Well, no.
What?
Yeah, 6, 7 decades old, this particular song, right?
1950s?
Yeah, and guess
Wow.
what? This particular Sikh is what our modern day project gurus are doing, right? Agile technology. Tutti frutti chahi, chal jaye theek hai. Like, just launch it. Doesn't matter what happens. And that's the philosophy of life, which is so close to our business world, Balajan. But here you go. Thoda aur gana sunega. I'll be back after this.
तिरछी चला चला के झूम आड़ी चला चला के झूम तिरछी चला चला के झूम बाजू बाबू समझो इशारे हॉर्न पुकारे पम 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 यहाँ चलती को गाड़ी कहते हैं प्यारे पम पम पम
And of course, Bajan, if you actually haven't seen the movie, watch it for sure. It's a wonderful movie. And also to realize, if at all you know how to make movies, you know editing, Falduani, you will actually you give hats off to the people who have made those movies of those times.
Why?
Aajkal kitna easy ho gaya. Editing has become so easy. Like you have everything, what's happening in the front, what's in the back, and you got to stitch them together, right?
Right.
In that time, just imagine how much time it does take for editor to actually physically cut these films and put them together and make a roll out of it, right? And once you glue it together, you actually have to again cut it again and you got to glue it all over again, you know?
Right.
And you make a master out of the whole thing. It's like you got a lot of patience and everything, but hats off to them. But this movie, why I want to talk about it is because the way they have actually intercut shots, it's beautiful. Anyway, Majan, that was a little bit about me and a little bit about the song, from me, about the song, I should say. It's a movie called Chalti Ke Naam Gaadi. It's a nice movie where we have all 3 brothers.
Yes.
Ashok, Anup, and Kishore.
That's right.
Together. And right now, Majan, let's go check out Faltwani. Faltwani, are you going to go on world news right now?
Yes, absolutely.
Let us go.
Amnesty International on Friday apologized to jailed Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny for stripping him of his prisoner of conscience status and said that it would restore the designation. Amnesty announced on February 24th that it would stop referring to Navalny as a prisoner of conscience on the grounds that in the past he had made comments that qualified as an advocacy of hatred. Following careful evaluation, Amnesty International has decided to redesignate Alexei Navalny as a prisoner of conscience, it said in a statement emailed to Reuters. Amnesty said that the Russian government and its supporters had used the Feb 24 decision to further violate the rights of Navalny, who was arrested in January and sentenced to jail for parole violations that he called were completely trumped up. In Scotland, Manajan, Scotland's main pro-independence party captured a swath of seats on Friday in a crucial Scottish Parliament election, which could determine the future of the United Kingdom, although its leader cautioned the result remained, quote, on a knife edge. The ruling Scottish National Party will seek to hold another referendum on independence by the end of 2023 if there is a pro-independence majority returned to the devolved 129-seat parliament, setting up a potential legal showdown with Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who says he will refuse any such vote. The Scottish National Party won 14 of the 16 seats to be declared, including East Lothian from Labour, one of the election's key battlegrounds. However, in some areas there was an increase in support for opposition pro-union parties, indicating that the final outcome could be very close. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken took a veiled swipe at Russia and China on Friday during a UN Security Council meeting chaired by his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi, warning that the actions of some of the big powers portray impunity to others. The meeting on multilateralism, convened by China as a council president for May, comes amid a UN battle for influence between the world's two biggest economies as President Joe Biden seeks to reassert traditional US leadership, reversing former President Donald Trump's favored unilateral approach in the face of a more assertive Beijing. Blinken stressed the need for countries to uphold international commitments, focus on human rights, and respect for the principle of sovereign equality. A Saudi Foreign Ministry official said on Friday that talks between Saudi Arabia and Iran aim to reduce regional tensions, but added that it was too early to judge the outcome and that Riyadh actually wanted to see, quote, verifiable deeds, unquote. The comments by Ambassador Riyad Krimli, head of policy planning at the ministry, were the first public confirmation from Riyadh that the rivals, who severed ties in 2016, were holding direct talks. India's main opposition leader Rahul Gandhi warned on Friday that unless the deadly COVID-19 second wave sweeping the country was brought under control, it would devastate India as well as threaten the rest of the world. In a letter, Gandhi implored Prime Minister Narendra Modi to prepare for another national lockdown, accelerate a countrywide vaccination program, and scientifically track the virus and its mutations. Gandhi said the world's second most populous nation had a responsibility in, quote, a globalized and interconnected world, unquote, to stop the, quote, explosive growth, unquote, of COVID-19 within its borders. India is home to 1 out of every 6 human beings on this planet. The pandemic has demonstrated that our size, genetic diversity, and complexity make India fertile ground for the virus to rapidly mutate, transform itself into more contagious and more dangerous forms, wrote Gandhi. Allowing the uncontrollable spread of the virus in our country will be devastating not only for our people but across the world as well. Also, Banajan, in some news, coronavirus live updates from India, over 4.14 lakh fresh infections were reported on Thursday, and also 3,927 deaths. Daily death count has now stayed above 3,000 for 10 days in a row. Maharashtra reported the most fatalities at 853 deaths. UP, Delhi, and Karnataka also reported over 300 deaths each. Kerala and Madhya Pradesh have imposed lockdown amid a surge in cases. And there is going to be a lockdown in Karnataka from May 10th to May 24th. What is that going to look like? You'll have to check out on mediamahima.com. And also during this time, Bandhajan, the world was relying heavily on India for vaccines, if you remember. Mm-hmm. But now with this situation, Bandhajan, what is happening is that it's becoming more and more reliant on China for vaccines, with India's raging virus outbreak stifling its ability to deliver on supply deals, even as the US tries to position itself as a champion of wider access. Mm-hmm. Over the past few weeks, leaders of some of the globe's most populous nations have sought more shots from China, despite concerns about their effectiveness. Demand is expected to rise even further if the World Health Organization, as expected, authorizes vaccines from China's Sinovac Biotech Lab and Sinopharm Group Company Limited, allowing developing countries in Asia, Africa, Latin America to access them through COVAX, the global vaccination effort. And Badajan, US President Kamala Harris said that assessing the welfare of India is critically important. Asserting that the welfare of India is critically important to the United States. She actually said that her mother hails from India, and her aunt is also a physician in Chennai, and she pledged that the Biden administration will do everything and even more for India than the aid currently in the pipeline, and said that the two countries and the global community will get through this together. Some Tinseltown news, Alva, want to know?
Yeah, sure.
The two ladies are going head to head. An FIR was filed against Kangana Ranaut in West Bengal for allegedly spreading hate propaganda. The reigning queen of Bollywood, Kangana Ranaut, is undoubtedly controversy's favourite child, as she's been involved in the mire of it, and this time her indirect jibes on West Bengal elections and their Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee, Didi, got her Twitter account permanently suspended. Known to be one of the most active celebrities on social media, Kangana Ranaut joined Twitter last year, and since then the Talaivi actress has been very expressive on the medium. Be it films or politics, Kangana has been sharing her thoughts on the burning topics of the country. Now, TMC spokesperson Riju Datta has filed a FIR against this actress for allegedly promoting hate propaganda in order to incite communal violence in Bengal. And they have said that she posted several posts from her verified official Instagram handle, bearing at Kangana Ranaut in the stories section. She's also distorted and maligned the image of Honorable Chief Minister of Bengal, Srimati Mamta Banerjee. So if you want to catch up on this story too, you can go to mediamahima.com.
Interesting turn of events out there, Badajan. Suddenly we have Trinamool Congress, right? Isn't the word it's called?
Trinamool Congress.
Trinamool Congress.
TMC.
Yeah, another biopic in the making, Badajan. Probably Rani Mukherjee getting ready for it.
Yeah, she would actually suit, right?
Of course she would.
Yes.
Because I don't think they should take, or you never know, you actually can have Shraddha Kapoor play the role also.
No, man.
What? I think Shraddha Kapoor rocks canvas shoes and a sari.
Really? I don't know. I've not seen it. They'll probably put Alia Bhatt.
I don't think so.
Or they may put, what's her name? Ideally, you know who should be the person who plays that role? No, Konkana Sen Sharma.
Konkana Sen? No, I don't think so. No, it's good characterization. Yes.
Ask me about casting, Altava. I'll tell you who you should cast.
So what goes into a casting, Faltani?
Never mind. We discussed that yesterday on the show. So
Plaster of Paris.
Oh God.
My goodness, doesn't talk about casting now without knowing how to do it. And of course, Bajal, let me tell you, fiberglass is used nowadays for casting for sure, where they actually just put the whole bandage on you and put some water on it and actually kind of hardens up afterwards. How do I know this? I don't know why I know this, but anyway, I know this.
That's because he's had multiple casts put. There's not one bone in his body that he's in broken.
So you're saying that I'm an authority on casting?
Yeah. Yeah. On the Plaster of Paris casting.
Plaster of Paris is old technology.
Not
that was
acting
fiberglass.
cast, actor casting.
Whatever, Madhuri. You just want to say, okay, fine. Madhuri, you're awesome, man.
Thank you, Altava.
And of course, let me tell you right now, it's time for us to be closing out our show today. I hope you enjoyed the news as much as we enjoyed presenting to you guys. And again, warning you guys to stay healthy, stay safe, stay masked if possible in your public settings. Maintain a physical distancing if possible. Even now, yes, until unless they say, okay, everything is cleared out and everything, it's fine. But you never know. Some residual stuff will always remain. Like now, for instance, Faltoni is dying to share some news with us, right, Faltoni?
Am I?
There was some residual stuff you want to share, right?
No, if you wanted the China tech news, Altava, I had some news.
I knew you had some news. That's why I said always something is there in the offing. So go ahead, take it away. What do you have?
Well, the Chinese ride-hailing giant Didi Chuxing, which is backed by
Didi Chewing?
Yeah, SoftBank, Alibaba and Tencent said on Friday that 3.1% of passenger fees for rides will go towards its profit last year.
Here's what I want to tell you, Faltoni. Stop all those things. I don't want to talk about China news anymore.
Okay, well,
unless until you give me some news of what happened to our Alibaba chief.
I have no idea, dude. There is no news about Jack Ma, Banajan.
Exactly.
No news. We've been trying to find...
Where's Jack Ma?
They're doing Jack Ma to find him.
You're doing Jack Ma to find Jack Ma.
Yes.
Well, Banajan, tell you what, Banajan, when that happens, I think all newscasters who are listening to us right now because they want a point of reference, start investigating the report. We don't have money to do it, but if you can, start investigating the report on what happened to Jack Ma.
Right. And that's all we have time for on this morning's Good Morning Babe and the Jam. We'll be back tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show. Don't forget to tune in. Have yourselves a fantastic Friday. And if you're wondering, oh, why, what, nothing, Sunday is Mother's Day. If you've forgotten, please go get mom a gift, the mom in your life, your mom as well. Pick up the phone, give them a call. It's exceptionally important, Banjan, given how uncertain times are right now, to be cherishing the people that we love. So, wishing all the moms out there a very, very happy Mother's Day. In the event you're not tuning in to us tomorrow or day after, we do have shows, so don't forget to tune in. We wish you all the happiness, all the love, and all the joy.
शोहरत है चीज क्या चलने का नाम है इज्जत है चीज क्या चलने का नाम है शोहरत है चीज क्या चलने का नाम है इज्जत है चीज क्या चलने का नाम आड़ी तिरछी चला चला के झूम आड़ी तिरछी चला के झूम
Bandajan, this is your darling Faltu Rani, and let me tell you, Bandajani, that all these beautiful tracks that you're listening to